Welcome to Landry Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. How are you doing today? Don't you quit on me. Don't you quit. Don't you stop trying every day to be your best. Don't you stop trying to break through your fear. Never quit going after your dreams. Can you stop the negative chatter in your head? Like, quit telling yourself the silly, stupid stuff. I'm not good enough. I don't have the same power as Landria. I can't manifest. I don't really have the power of the universe in me. Story, choice, you're choosing. Every time that comes in, what do? I do have the power of the universe. I am whole and perfect, and I am strong and powerful. I'm a loving being, harmonious, and I am happy. So let's talk about happiness today. How do you get to be happy? How can you be happy? Happy is a choice. I am happy. What makes us unhappy? Life is challenging. I haven't met one person that hasn't thought that. We didn't come down here just to be like perfect light beings every moment. We came down here to experience the challenges, the feelings, the emotions. Yet we are perfect light beings, right? We really are. However, there comes some things with being human. And we knew that when we came down. It's really uncomfortable, isn't it? It's like we're on this planet where it could be so perfect, so loving, so beautiful. And yet, there's so much conflict going on, and it just makes no sense. But I have a question for you. Are you contributing to that? If you're having any negative thoughts, the answer is yes. You are part of, let's say, the struggle of the human species, of humanity. You're part of it. So instead of us looking outside and saying, if that were right, I'd be happy. If that were right, I'd be happy. If the world were, happy, I'd be happy. Be the happiness. How do you become happy? Acceptance. Can you accept your situation right now and know that it can change any moment? Can you accept that you actually are responsible for everything in your life? And how empowering is that? You're also responsible for everything you want to bring in your life, and you can do that. When do you make that decision? When do you make that decision? When? Right now. I don't want this situation. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want, highs and lows. I don't want to be controlled by the material outside world. I don't want to be depressed. I saw, where was it? It showed up. Who sent this to me? I got some email, and I saw this guy, in an army helmet, and it said, World War II is here. And it's some new game. And I thought, oh, great. We've already experienced World War II, and now we're going to re-experience it for those who were not in the trenches. Because those people are all dying off. Now let's introduce the trauma of the past to the new generation and fill their little heads with the crap and the violence. Don't you buy that? Ooh, somebody's probably going to come down on me for that. Hey, it's a choice, right? If you want to program your mind, if you want to expose yourself to the negativity, and you can tell me, oh, well, I'm experiencing this and that. Really? Okay, great. Let's go experience being broke for the rest of your life. Go experience being abused and all that stuff. How come you're not doing that? Playing a game is not experiencing it. It's polluting your mind. It's not really experiencing it. You want to experience it? Have a bullet fly past your head. And know that you just almost had your skull taken out. For real. That's the experience. That's not so much fun. I don't think you'd like that game, would you? Right? So let's not go there. That's not an experience. You're not learning by that. What you're doing is you're training your brain for violence. You're lowering your frequency. So you start giving up all the stuff that takes you to that place. It's an addiction. Why? Because it's curiosity. Human beings gravitate toward the negative. because they're allowing their ego to control that. And the ego is always looking for the worst case scenario, the problems, because it thinks it's protecting you. So it's sort of drawn to that negative frequency, because that's what the ego is. It's really a negative, lower frequency. A protection system, but we don't need it anymore. We don't need it. When you're connected to the all-powerful you know that fire burns your hand. That ego, that brain no longer is making those decisions anymore. You're functioning on such a high frequency. You don't need your body. You don't even need your brain. Okay, this is sort of weird. I just saw David Wilcock on wisdom teachings. I pick and choose those too. I don't want anything that goes into the evil stuff. And his intentions are good, but sometimes he lets you know what's going on there a little bit too much, and I don't expose myself to that. But anything about ascension or positive things, I will always watch because I think it's fascinating and I'm curious about it. What's amazing is he will actually talk about stuff that I've shot videos on with no information, nothing I've ever read, anything that I had no knowledge of, and then I'll watch a video and it will be stuff that he's saying that they have found to be true, or there's been experiments or whatever. So I'm pulling my information from the cosmos. And I will share research and stuff with you, but you can get that information. Now, he had somebody on there, I don't remember the doctor's name, it's probably irrelevant at this point, that there are people with literally no brains that have college education degrees. How's that possible? There's somebody that they researched had like literally, this much brain matter, who went to college and functioned perfectly fine. How's that possible? Because the brain isn't making your decisions. It's actually just firing off to run the body, but it is not what makes your decisions. It has memory, it can recall for you, but it is not a decision maker. Your mind is. What is your mind? The collective consciousness. Remember that. Wow, that's empowering, isn't it? It's not this little brain, it's not this gray matter in there that's doing it. So if my gray matter is bigger and better than yours, now we're all sharing the cosmos. Equal playing ground, my friend. You've got access to it. No excuses. You're going to take responsibility for your happiness? Let's start doing it today. Everything's possible. You want to be happy? Make that decision today. And guess what? It's going to take practice. I'm sorry. What's the difference between you and me right now? If you're not feeling good, I've worked on it. I didn't just bang. Although I did come into this world a little bit different. Even my parents, I had a connection. Some of you know that when you were born, you knew as children that you had some kind of a different connection, that you were connected to the one in a completely different way, maybe than other people. Some of you have abilities that you were born with that are more transparent than others. We all come in at a different place for a different reason. So, we all have access to the mind, the collective consciousness. We are all already enlightened beings experiencing other frequencies. That's it. So you get to choose yours. You get to choose happiness. So I saw the Dalai Lama at an event once, and what a beautiful soul. But he's a regular guy. I mean, he wears a baseball cap. He loves to laugh. He made jokes. He didn't sit there like some pious person, but there's a peace about him. He smiles because he's happy. He's just happy. Yeah. So, I just want to share something with you. He said he experiences anger and sadness. What? Is that possible? Yes, he's an enlightened being. But he said he doesn't do anything with it. Because he's a human, those feelings will show up because we come with that energetic blueprint. There's a DNA in us that part of that DNA is going to have those automatic reactions because the human species has operated that way. So you're always going to have that energy with you. You still get to make a decision what you do with it. So he says, I experience it. I don't do anything with it. I watch it like a cloud go by. He doesn't react to it. He feels it, but it's not part of him because he's out here. I had you do a meditation where I had you push your energy out. You keep pushing your energy out. You are all this, but when you feel it, you actually are experiencing, connecting to it. You're being aware of the fact that you are all that out there. You're not confined to this body. Your energy isn't in this body. It's out here. It's in everything. So when you focus on that, what's that? That's everything. You're everything. And when you focus on being everything and feeling that energy, you realize you can bring anything to you. You can create the particle out of the wave. The wave is everything that you don't see. The particle is everything that you do see. So you have access to that. That means that you can be happy. And yes, because we have this density and this energy that we have with us that has been challenging. It's part of our journey here. That's part of our experience. Don't miss that. Don't fight it. Acceptance. Yay. Okay. Ooh, this is what sadness is. This is what loss is. This is what it's like to lose material things. Do I want that to control me anymore? No. How do I get over that? Well, I got to release my attachment to the material world. And guess what? The jobs show up, the checks show up, the relationships show up. Hey, listen, I'm taking my business to the next major, mega level. All I can say is, whoa. Yeah, there's a little bit of, I don't know if fear's the word, but a little nervous. It's exciting, but it's like, ooh. Yeah, I'm going to really have to, let's just say, commit to some major stuff. And it's financial. So, if I truly believe that I'm controlling everything, then I need to recognize that I got to release any kind of pullback on that. If I want that and I know I can have it, I'm creating it. Well, that human part of me that Dad always said, save, 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 but I'm an entrepreneur. I don't do that. I invest in myself. And that's how entrepreneurs make a lot of money. They don't think like, I'm going to work 30 years and save, 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 and then find out I can't take my vacations when I want to. Entrepreneurs, they invest in themselves. They educate themselves. They put money into themselves. And it comes back. And they're not afraid to learn and fail. There's no such thing as failure to them. There's just learning and progression. So if you have faith and you know that your life is going to progress, that things will always be okay, and that whatever happens along the way is a learning experience, things that you need to change, ways you need to stop thinking, releasing, not having attachment to how you think it should happen and what should happen, when it should happen. These are all lessons. Why are you feeling pain? You have an attachment to an outcome or what's going on or what you think things should be like. And when you release it, by golly, it's so freeing. Because then nothing can harm you on this material world. All right. Those of you who've been on the bottom, do you have your health? Even if you don't, you know you can turn that around. What's the worst can happen? Big whoop. You can pull yourself out of anything. And happiness will help you because happiness is a higher frequency. Find things to be happy about. Know that all of this is so temporary. All of it. So temporary. And you are part of the power of the collective consciousness, not this brain. And happiness is a choice. And it has to be worked on. And the more you find to laugh about, Happiness could be just watching a very funny movie, going out with a friend and laughing. I have friends, honest to God, we laugh about the same stupid things until I think I'm going to pee my pants. And we will laugh so hard sometimes that I'm just sit there and cry and I can't even talk. I went on vacation recently and I had to just flop on the bed and laugh for about 10 minutes about a story I told my friend, and I could hardly finish the story. And that's happiness. And it elevates you and you're not thinking about anything. So, do you ever walk around and like you'll remember some stupid story that's really funny? Right? Or you create a funny story in your head about something. You know, something happens and you find yourself laughing about it because it's really funny. I did my neighbor's lawn. I went out and trimmed it. I got my power tools over there. You know, he's a really old guy and he shuffles. He's like, you know, if you ever saw Laughing, you know, the old guy, he shuffles. It takes him like an hour to get, you know, a few feet. That's my neighbor and he's just so sweet. So I did his lawn, and I was over in my lawn the next day, and I saw him coming out, shuffling, has his head down. He's walking, and he comes out to the curb, and I said, oh, he's going to come say hi. He's going to say, thank you, Landria, for doing my lawn. So he comes all the way out to the curb. He gets it, opens up his mailbox. He knows I'm standing there. I mean, you know, we're right here. And he turns around and goes back in the house. And I'm like, oh, he's coming to say, oh, I'm getting ready to go, oh, it's no problem. And he turns around and goes back in. And I stood there and I laughed about this. Now call me silly, but can you just get silly once in a while and laugh about the dumbest things? Sometimes when you're supposed to be serious, that's the funniest time. Sometimes I laugh at inappropriate moments like funerals. Because I find humor in things. I know my parents would have find humor in some of the stuff we do in the worst situations. And that's what makes life so incredibly great. Right? Don't take it so seriously. You can find happiness. And when you do and you laugh, by golly, you're going to go to a different frequency. And you're connecting to that frequency around you, that power that you are. So, can you practice happiness? Because it will take practice every day. Finding things to laugh at, finding things that are joyful, keeping away from the negativity, not exposing yourself to it, to the stories. Oh, did you hear what's going on and oh, the tragedy? Okay, you can't do anything about it. If you can donate time or money, that's great. But I'd say 99% of the people that talk to me about this stuff, not one of them sent a check, went and donated their time or whatever. They just love to talk about the woes of the world. Because they have nothing better to do. They're focused on that because they don't have any good things going on in their own life, nor are they creating that. They're addicted to what's going on out there. It makes them feel better, right? A lot of people do that because if it's rotten out there, then, oh, I'm doing pretty good. The ego. Can you be happy today? Yeah. Go to your puppy place, right? We all love puppies. Watch those little puppy YouTube videos and cats. They are so cute. Oh my gosh, sometimes I just get on there and laugh. Animals are adorable. So, wishing you happiness. You're whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Happy. Sending you light, love, health, wealth, abundance, and joy. Namaste.